My cousin accidentally spilled wine on my wedding dress, so I accidentally spilled the truth about her affair. I'll admit right now, my cousin Maya and I have never gotten along. From the outside, she plays the role of the perfect golden girl, charismatic, fashionable, always ready with a fake sweet smile for relatives. But behind closed doors, she's always had a sharp tongue and a talent for making me feel small. Growing up, she loved to joke about how I was the plain cousin. If I wore a nice dress to a family event, she'd whisper, "Trying too hard, aren't you?" If I didn't, she'd say, "Well, at least you know your limits." When I got into my first relationship at 19, she smirked and told me, "Guess some guys really will settle for anything." If I confronted her, she'd throw out that classic line, "Relax, it was just a joke. Don't be so sensitive." It was always gaslighting, mean-spirited comments disguised as harmless teasing. As adults, the rivalry didn't fade. When I got engaged, Maya immediately started making passive-aggressive remarks. "Wow, he proposed fast. Guess he was worried he wouldn't get another chance." Or, "You're brave choosing that dress. Not everyone could pull it off, but good for you." She never congratulated me sincerely. Instead, it was always those little digs, as if my happiness threatened her somehow. The closer the wedding got, the more obvious it became that Maya couldn't stand not being the center of attention. At my bridal shower, she wore a skin-tight white dress and loudly told everyone, "Oops, I forgot brides are supposed to get dibs on white. Guess I'll change for the actual wedding." At rehearsal dinner, she toasted with, "Here's to my cousin, finally finding someone willing to put up with her." Everyone laughed nervously. I laughed too, but inside, I burned. Then came the wedding day. I was nervous, but so excited. The ceremony went perfectly, and by the time we got to the reception, I was floating on cloud 9. That's when Maya struck. While we were mingling, she came over with a glass of red wine. She gave me this sly smile, leaned in for a hug, and, shocker, slipped. The wine spilled across the lower half of my dress, a deep crimson stain spreading. Gasps went around the room. Maya clapped her hand to her mouth dramatically. "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm such a klutz." She was enjoying this. She added, "At least it's at the end of the night. Oh wait, no, pictures aren't done yet, are they?" She even chuckled. I wanted to scream. Instead, I excused myself and went to the bathroom to blot at the stain. My bridesmaids followed, furious, whispering things like, "She did that on purpose." And I knew they were right. Maya couldn't stand the spotlight being on me, so she sabotaged me. Here's where fate intervened. Because while Maya thought she had the upper hand, I had been sitting on a secret for months. You see, Maya had been having an affair. Her husband travels a lot for work, and apparently, she filled her free time with another man. I hadn't meant to find out, but one night I caught her sneaking around at a restaurant with someone who definitely wasn't her husband. Later, I overheard her bragging to a friend about how she was too hot to be tied down. I hadn't said anything because, honestly, it wasn't my business. But after she deliberately ruined my dress, on my wedding day, the one day that was supposed to be about me, I realized maybe the truth needed to come out. So when I returned to the reception, I didn't make a scene right away. I smiled, laughed, but then, during speeches, when it was my turn to thank everyone, I added a little something extra. I raised my glass and said, "Marriage is about love, loyalty, and respect. Qualities that some people in this room don't seem to value, considering they've been sneaking around behind their spouse's back." I didn't even have to name Maya. All eyes immediately turned to her. The color drained from her face. Her husband's jaw dropped. And then I twisted the knife just enough. Some stains wash out, others don't. At least my dress will survive the night. The room went dead silent, except for the sound of her husband pushing back his chair and leaving. Maya followed him out in a panic, sputtering excuses. The guests whispered, people exchanged looks, and I went back to celebrating. The rest of the night, amazing. People congratulated me not only for the wedding, but for finally putting Maya in her place. Afterward, she texted me furiously, saying I had ruined her life, that I was vindictive, and that it was low to air her dirty laundry. I replied, "You ruined my dress. I ruined your act. Call it even."